What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Terrence Mann gives an update on Kawhi Leonard's status. Speaks on Kawhi Leonard about him upping his regimen in regards to working out and how he's progressing more and more back into the player that he was before he got injured. And, right now, in regards to, Terrence Mann's comments, he was basically just speaking that it's cool to see Kawhi Leonard out there, getting his reps in how he usually does, getting right back to the player he was before he got injured. And he can't wait to actually get back out there with him and work out. Currently, Terrence Mann says he's in Italy, enjoying himself, coaching some team, I believe he says. But just seeing Kawhi's energy and everything, seeing him out there with the guys and, doing the things he usually does, it's very encouraging for the Clippers because, the Clippers definitely have an opportunity to go out there and win it all this upcoming season. And it's no secret that a lot of people look at them as the preseason favorites going into next year to win it all, too. I mean, based upon their roster and how they're stacked from top to bottom and how all their roster really has so much experience because with Kawhi and PG being out the X amount of time that they were, it was a blessing to a lot of the other and younger players on the team to get some experience out there to play some meaningful basketball because the Clippers, as far as a lot of people saying, the regular season doesn't count and stuff like that, it's all about the playoffs. Well, for the Clippers last season or this season here that we're currently in still because it's the finals going on currently. But for the Clippers, their whole season predominantly was every game counted for them. Every game was massive for them. Every game actually had meaning for them because they were so injured and depleted as a team. Every game counted for them because they were just trying to find a way to make the playoffs. And they found a way to make the play-in tournament. They almost got the 6th seed at one point. It was about a couple months left in the season, at that time. And they were trailing the Denver Nuggets, and they almost found a way to grab that 6th seed. I think what really messed them up was, Ty Lue, actually, when he took Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris and set them down for like 1 or 2 games back to back when they had just came off like a 5 or 6 game winning streak or something like that. I feel like that blew their momentum right there. And I feel like that made them blow a tire out basically. And, it really, to me, that was like the turning point of their season in regards to making the playoff, actually getting that six seed, and, nothing they could do about it now. But that was just my opinion about how that changed right there for their momentum. They should have just kept going and fight for that 6th seed and got that. They would have never been in the play-in tournament. They would have been able to skip it. You see what I'm saying? And I think that would have been, better for them. Instead, they go into the play-in tournament, lose both games, and they were out the playoff. They didn't even make they didn't find a way to get into the actual playoffs. But that's, little things like that. Ty Lue has to make sure that he cleans up himself because, when your team's got the momentum, you got to be able to, make the right adjustments and, you got to be able to make the right decision. And I think that one time specifically, I disagree with Ty Lue on doing that because they had a chance to make the 6th seed. And if they would have happened to get that 6th seed, it would have... they would have avoided the play-in tournament, and then they would have had a little bit longer, to maybe rest PG or something like that, or maybe even Kawhi coming back, because they would have skipped the play-in tournament. They would just went straight on to the playoffs, So, but shoulda, woulda, coulda, no need to harp on that too much, but. Upcoming in the next season, though, they definitely have a chance to win it all, I believe. They definitely are one of the preseason favorites to win it all. And, but it's not going to be easy, though, because they still got to understand, Kawhi Leonard hasn't played basketball in a while, over a year and some change now, and going into that, or basically a whole season to a year, however you want to look at that. But it's been a while since Kawhi Leonard played basketball. It's been a while since Kawhi Leonard has dominated, in basketball the way he usually does. So asking a player to, come back out there and play the way Kawhi Leonard does You see what I'm saying? And to dominate the way he usually does, it might take a little, might take a few steps for him to do that. And hopefully, the good thing is, about the Clippers, as I said, them going out in the play-in tournament, it gives Kawhi more time to breathe. It gives Kawhi more time to sigh of relief too, because if the longer the Clippers would have stayed into playoffs, the more pressure they would have put basically on Kawhi Leonard for him to come back and return. And maybe this really just wasn't the time for him to do that. And maybe, he had the more rest. Maybe he needed more rest, and I believe he definitely needed more, rest and, things like that before he stepped back onto a court. And then you got to think, stepping into a playoff game is a lot different than a regular season game. Stepping into a playoff game, it's all gas, no brakes. You know what I'm saying? It's you have to be at the top of your game. This is do or die, win or go home type basketball. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different level of basketball. So, if Kawhi would have came back during the playoffs, hypothetically, if the Clippers would have, got to the playoffs like first, second round, something like that, they would have put more pressure on Kawhi coming back because the team is, ascending and doing decent or very well in the playoffs, and they would have expected their best player to come back. But now that he gets a little bit more rest, a little bit more time to get his feet up under him, now he's practicing a little bit more, upgrading his workout regimen more and more by midsummer or something like that. He definitely will be right where he probably should be. But like I said, he still has to go into to the next season and get some NBA games under him, play that full court again, get his second win under him. It's been a while, and I don't care how great a player is, they definitely need those reps. They need those. What I'm saying? Practice is one thing, but going out there playing an actual game, getting about 5 or 10 games under you, that's what's going to tell it. That's when you're going to see where you are as a player, and then you're going to be able to go from there and get your balance back, get your everything back, as time goes on during the season. So, I definitely anticipating to see Kawhi Leonard, going into next season. Like I said, he might start off a little slow. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but that's okay. He'll definitely pick up as the season goes on. He's definitely, one of the top players in the league for a reason. He's still a top 5 player, if you ask me. Regardless of what anybody said, to me, he's still the best player, if you ask me. But still, in most people's eyes, he was looked at as a top 5 player, revered as one. To me, he still should be revered as a top 5 player, bare minimum. Even though he's been injured, he's still one of the best in the league, and the man's got 2 championships for a reason, and I think he might be on his way to 3. So, having him back going the next season is definitely going to bode well for the Clippers. I just hope that, Ty Lue finds a way to ingratiate the players that played this past season and give them minutes too, find a way to ingratiate them as well. Because, I look at, of course, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard are going to get theirs, but you look at players like Brandon Boston Jr., Moon, Amir Coffey, players like that, who really stepped up and played some big minutes for the Clippers this past season. I hope Ty Lue finds a way for those players too, because I really think they're going to need those players more than what they even believe. Because when you have those type players, young players like that, come out of nowhere and play in meaningful basketball games the way they did, and respond the way they did, and play the way they did when they got the opportunity, you got to find a way to get them on the court as well. You got to find a way to put them in there. You got to find a way to get them going, get them ready. You see what I'm saying? And I think that would be good for them. Like, to me, Brandon Boston, the way he plays, he almost plays like a point guard, to a degree. So, there's got to be some way to ingratiate him in there to get him some minutes or something like that, because his upside looks really good, and he looks like he could definitely be a future product for the Clippers. And same thing with Amir Coffey, if they decide to keep him, man, because like I said, I like the way he played last year. He played a lot of fearless basketball himself, knocking down big shots, had a couple 30-plus point games, and that's going to be the key with the Clippers. They got so much talent, and there's only one basketball. How much time is going to go around for every player to be on the court to contribute. You know what I'm saying? So I think Ty Lue will find a way. I just hope that he does, because like I said, I like the youth and the young players that they have as well. And I think adding that to what they already have built in the culture with Kawhi Kawhi and the rest of them can make them an even stronger team than what most would be even prepared for. So my thing is, you get those players in there, you get those players playing with Kawhi Leonard, and that's one thing those young players haven't done. They haven't got a chance to play with the best player yet, and I think that's definitely going to bode well, for their career going forward, and the knowledge of playing situational basketball even more, being around somebody like Kawhi Leonard. So, I definitely can't wait to see this team next year and what they're going to have to bring to the table. I definitely think they will. I definitely think they could be a number one seed if they stay healthy. If they stay healthy, they could be a number one seed. There's just no doubt about that. The Clippers can definitely do that if they stay healthy. Now, health is the biggest thing with them, of course, but they definitely can be a number one seed if they stay healthy, and I definitely think they could take it all the way. But we have to see how it goes. A lot of things happen during the season. My main thing is I hope Kawhi Leonard stays healthy throughout the season and, find his footing, how he was, because if Kawhi Leonard turns back into the player that he was, then, as I said before, it's hell to pay for a lot of teams, because you won't really, the Warriors, teams like that, they won't be able to beat the Clippers if Kawhi Leonard's healthy. The Suns can't beat them if they're healthy. Memphis can't beat them if they're healthy. Even though I think Memphis will present a very, very good argument, against the Clippers in regards to the defense that they have and everything. But ultimately, I think that, the Clippers would beat them as well. And ultimately, I think the Clippers will be the best team in the West, of course, if they stay healthy and they, continue to build on what they have, and like I said, their coach is good. The coach is good. The players are good, what I'm saying? And going into their new arena, new headspace, new thoughts, everything like that they have going into the next season, new everything, and new opportunity once again to go for that championship. And I think that they will definitely, find a way to bare minimum make it to a finals, but I definitely think they'll win it. But I said before, bare minimum, they have to at least make it to a finals, bare minimum. But I do think they could win it, whoever they play. But like I said, I'm definitely anticipating it, and hearing good things about Kawhi Leonard's progress even more is very encouraging. So, Clippers Nation, definitely praise that, and definitely, have high hopes for next year, because it definitely can be a very special season for the Clippers. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.